Hello.
Hello, this is so exciting. We're breaking in this beautiful podcast space.
Yeah, it's a milestone. It's like the first of a new phase, a new theme, a new season.
So much magic's going to be birthed here in this space.
Yeah, I'm really excited to dive deep around all sorts of really empowering and inspiring topics and get all sorts of beautiful people into the space, and it feels so wonderful to have you be the first one to utilize this space with me.
I feel so honored to be the first. Whoop, whoop.
The beautiful Johanna Joy in all her radiance. And to start with, I would really love to hear about the mission that you're on right now with Sound of Unity.
I would love to share about the mission, but what I'm feeling, as always, I'm feeling sounds coming through. So let's start with that, and then with the sounds, the words will come. You ready?
I'm ready.
If you are listening, I invite you to take some breaths and tune in. I just really love that. I love to choose embodiment before words. It's like we drop into our hearts first, and then we engage the brain. So there's that brain-heart coherence. Tuning into the viewers, the listeners, who is meant to receive this message. So, what was your question?
That was beautiful. Thank you. So I was really curious to hear about your mission with Sound of Unity.
Sound of Unity.
What is Sound of Unity's mission? Why does it exist?
Well,
what is Sound of Unity?
Yeah, I'd love to share, and I would love to bring it back into the bigger picture of what's happening in the collective right now. And I feel like many of you out there will feel what I'm talking about. Anyone that is in tune in the bigger picture and what's happening planetary right now. Because being a spiritual being, as I consider myself, being an empath, being sensitive, I can really feel just what's happening right now in the collective. I mean, years ago it started in like, oh, I wonder, like a subtle awakening, and now I'm like, yeah, there is a lot happening on the planet right now. There is so much shifts. There is so much clearing of old paradigms, systems, programs that just does not serve humanity anymore. And there's only one path, and that is the path of the heart and the truth.
Coming back to the heart.
Yeah. And the way that I see that is just gonna take a breath to just really tune into this message, because I'm very, very passionate about it. Actually, when I tune into this message, it just brings up emotions, because I am so passionate about it, and I'm just feeling the resonance of why I'm here and why so many of us are here, because I can feel like this grid of beings all around that are here, and if you're a listener right now, I know that you can feel the resonance, like this deep feeling that you have actually come to Earth like at this time to be part of this big shifts that we're going through collectively right now. And like this feeling of like there's been a lot of preparation for this point in time to see humanity through this really potent rebirth period. So
It is incredibly potent.
Yeah. Mm. And it does bring emotions to talk about it, because I can feel like so many. It's like it's like we question ourselves, and I feel that with my journey, with my background, it's like there's been so many years of initiation to come to this point, and there's been so many years where I've just, and I'm sure many can relate, where you've just like, you question yourself and you've just felt like there's something not right. It's like, there's...
It's like a deep unsettling feeling.
Yeah. Like we're here there's got to be something more than this. And you can't really put your finger on it, but it's like, I just don't resonate with that part of the system. I just don't resonate with the school system. I just don't resonate with that part of the government, or I can just feel there's like something missing here. And I guess for me, it was just like that following of that tiny little whisper, because at the end of the day, we all carry these programs. And the way that I actually refer sometimes back to the Bible, it says in the Bible that we're born into sin. And the way that I see that is that we're actually born with programs. We're born with a disconnect that is taking us away from the truth of who we really are. And that's what we're here to break free from.
And so this is the mission.
Yeah, well, this is the mission to come back to a higher truth, and to not to settle, because this world needs a little help. We might be comfortable in the Western world, but if you look at the problems of today, with confused teenagers and drinking and suicide and depression and conflict in relationships, not to speak about the third world countries and the, like the starvation and the war and the conflicts. And I mean, won't you agree, like this world needs a little help. And it's starting in the energy.
Everything in the physical always starts in the energetic. The shift has to have the energetic signature before it can materialize.
Yes. And that's why like this work is so potent, because it might not seem as much on the surface, but like never underestimate the work that you're doing when you are healing, when you are shifting and you're healing your programs, when you're stepping into your truth. Like never underestimate how that ripples out into the collective, and just what an impact that has,
Makes all the difference. I think it's in the Buddhist text, they talk about how the most selfless thing you can do is work on yourself and to process your own karma.
Yeah.
Because then that ripples out into every single person you interact with, and you've processed and healed your slice of the collective consciousness.
Exactly. And it's about each one of us making the commitment to heal our part of the distortion. And each one of us has a part of the distortion. Like no one is there yet. We're all, like we ain't seen nothing yet. Like we're all, at the end of the day, week by week, month by month, we're all clearing layers of programs, because once we get to that attunement, to like that clearer path of purity, of the resonance of who we really are, like we ain't seen nothing yet. I mean, we're talking heaven and earth merging into one, and I mean we've seen 5% of it. Like there's we can't even begin to imagine what is going to be possible when we start clearing those programs and we step into the program of unity consciousness, hence the word sound of unity, because everything that I feel that I'm about, as so many, is how do we clear the programs of separations, the distortions that keeps us in all these separate views and states, so that we come into one coherence where we are all embodying the same frequency, and just like nature, we are working together, and we all know our role, we all know our place, and we work in perfect unison. There's no more competition, there's no more conflict. We're just literally being guided by the one divine force of the divine masculine and the divine feminine, working together to co-create true magic.
Well said.
Yeah.
Well said.
And for me personally, where the sound comes in, because I'm all about how to, at the end of the day, working with energy to clear those programs so that the energy can start to travel, the divine masculine, the grounded energy, coming the Kundalini awakening, as some people refer to it, the grounded energy moving up through our chakras, connecting to the higher, the Shakti, the allness, the divine feminine, and then the feminine grounding down to earth, actualizing the magic, and working together, the masculine and the feminine that we hold inside us, working together. And then how do we weave that into working with creation and with each other? That's the unity part, and then it's the sound part, which is where the energy gets stuck along the way. We can transmute with sound.
Sound is incredibly powerful.
It's so powerful.
It is an ancient technology that has been utilized in ways that we actually don't fully comprehend at the moment. Like, I've even heard theories that the way that the pyramids were built were through sound, through levitating the rocks through a certain frequency.
Honestly, I get goosebumps when I talk about that. I feel there's so much truth into that. The way that we work with sound and frequency, there's so much to unravel. Because
everything is vibration, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, of course, sound is going to be this integral part to awakening our consciousness, because our cells are vibrating at a certain frequency, right? So if we can somehow accelerate the frequency of that vibration, then wouldn't that unlock new awarenesses and new consciousnesses, right? So sound, I see this as like a really integral part of our expansion into our greater truth, because it just is something that can bypass the rational mind and can bypass our blocks. And it's like we don't need to figure out sound. Sound just does.
It's not coming from here.
It just does. It just lands and it hits, and it's this beautiful thing that I feel really passionate about as well. And how when we do pair this sound with a very positive and empowering message, it can undo entire identity complexes.
Absolutely.
Like years and years and years of just ways in which we've been operating. It can dissolve that.
The sound, the frequency, the way I see it is that it comes from, it's not from this realm. It's from the heavenly realm. And as we bring through these sacred sounds, and we bring through music and through our voices, and like then it bypasses, like you said, the mind. It bypasses the mind, and it transmutes everything in its way to create that alignment for that heaven and earth, heart and brain coherence, right?
I love that analogy, the heart and the brain being like the heaven and the earth. It so is
totally.
that.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. And again, masculine, feminine. Masculine being the more grounded, energies, because the masculine is all about structure and actualizing here on earth, and the feminine is the infinite, the allness. So that's why, like our work, is so much about uniting of the masculine and feminine, and it's not gender-based.
No,
it's just working with the two energies.
Yeah, the two energies that are expressed in everything, like beyond gender.
Yeah.
It just so happens that that men tend to hold more of the masculine energy and women tend to hold more of the feminine energy, right?
Totally.
Which is not even. It's obviously not always that as well.
It's not always the case, and that's fine. It's just about how do we merge the two energies together instead of one being the better than the other. Like how do we acknowledge both energies as completely equal and learn to circulate our energies between the two so that there's that perfect harmony. Because at the end of the day, like according to some of my downloads, the masculine and the feminine energy working in unison creates a circuit, like an equation of energy that will only continue to self-perpetuates itself, as in like becomes an infinite energy source. And that's why when the masculine and the feminine energy works together, then there is no separation, there's no drainage. You know, like as a man or as a woman, you sometimes just feel drained, and you just like the men, for example, it's more of like a penetrating outward energy, and they just want to give of themselves. But if that's not fully received by the feminine, it's gonna like I say, it's gonna end up on the floor, as in it's not gonna be it's not gonna be absorbed by the feminine and then circulate back to the masculine. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And the same with the feminine. If she's the receptive, right? But if she's being like open and receptive, opening up her infinite portal, and she's not connecting with the masculine energy that can truly hold her, then she's going to be too open, and she's going to eventually create exhaustion, and it's going to be too much for her to stay open, and she's going to be drained because it's not going to be that energy that actually fills her and then grounds back to earth. So both you need to learn how to be an embodied masculine and embodied feminine, to learn to work these energies together to create this circuit, to create like this infinite energy source for co-creation.
And what came up for me when you just said that then was like knowing when to soften and when to harden. It's like when to add structure and when to let go of structure.
That is the masculine and the feminine. You need to feel into each moment.
So like sometimes I need to be able to receive, and so then I need to soften. And when other times it's like, no, I need to be actually quite disciplined with what it is I'm bringing forth. I need to harden. I need to add structure.
And what you're talking about there is how do you actually find that balance between the masculine and the feminine within yourself? Yeah. By being deeply in tune. And you can identify in yourself if you're too much of one or the other. And through awareness, you can be like, oh, am I just like powering through and not being my softness, like getting things done, blah, 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 blah. Or am I being too like flowy, yeah, whatever is going, you know, like not setting proper boundaries. Like how do we learn to find that balance? Right?
It's very important. Big question, yeah.
It's a big question. And this is what Sound of Unity is about, through the energy work, through sound, through coming together, and through really understanding how energy works and how the masculine and the feminine energy works together. Because once we can embody that within ourselves, we can then start merging and working with each other and start creating that larger grid of unity where we're all starting to work together, starting to feel that collaboration, like that flow of energy just flowing between us all. It's just such a beautiful feeling. And that's what we're practicing in the workshops, the events of Sound of Unity.
Yeah. And the next one is coming up next week.
It's just time flies. On the 29th of June. It's a whole day this time.
Yeah, it's so exciting. I'm really looking forward to it. Like we're really just wanting to just take it up a notch.
It's time.
Yeah, take people to that deeper place. It's I feel like they're really asking for it, and it's like sometimes people don't actually fully understand what they're asking for, but they know they just have this deep longing about. They just want to feel something deeper.
Yeah, just sending out that frequency
to all those who are resonating.
To anyone that's resonating. I mean, I'm not saying that our way is the only way. We're not like
it's just one way.
So many people are doing such potent work, and all we're inviting is like whoever might be listening to this or receiving this, like if you are feeling the resonance, and you're like, yes, if you're saying like yes, yes, yes to some of the things that we've been talking about today, then we just invite you to come and play and, you know, and explore this work with us.
Yeah, it's all an invitation, and we're just listening to what feels most on our hearts, and that's all we invite others to do as well, is just to listen to what is the deepest part of you desiring for yourself at the moment. And for us, it's to feel this deep connection with each other and ourselves. And that happens when the energy is flowing, right?
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah, that's what it's all about.
And there's this deep sense of playfulness in it as well. Like I feel like, as serious as it might sound to do healing work, I feel like there's quite a element of reconnecting to our innocence.
Yeah, our childlike nature.
To our childlike nature, and coming back to that real curiosity, the play that comes with playfulness, of like not being attached to an outcome, but being curious enough to follow the thread to see where it takes you.
Yeah, let's be children again.
Yeah, let's play.
Let's play.
Let's play. That's what we're going to do. We're going to play. We're going to move, we're going to dance, we're going to...
be beautiful.
Yeah. Can't wait.
And the beautiful thing is that we all, like everyone has a piece of the puzzle. Like every single person has something that no one else in the world has, that is going to be the missing piece. And it's so beautiful once we do this work to see what's birthed. And I think that this is a beautiful space. If anyone out there, if you guys have a message that you want to bring to the world, because I mean, I love receiving people's, I call them codes, like that medicine. It's like, what is your unique message to the world? And this is a beautiful space to share it.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. It really feels exciting that this portal is now open, where people like you can come in, and others, and even people that don't involve me. Like, I'm so ready for whoever has the message that they want to share, to empower, to inspire, to just come in and put it in a package that is really receivable and shareable. Because that's it, right? Like, we just want to spread this message as much as we can to those who are ready for it.
The resonance, and there's so much magic being birthed right now. It's beautiful to see. It's like, and when one person lights their light, it creates that invitation for the next person to ignite. It's like, it becomes like a key in the lock. It's like you see, or you witness, or you experience something from someone else, and that unlocks something in you, and then it's your turn to bring through your message or your light, and then you'll ignite people that come after you. And that's how I see this beautiful awakening process, like a grid. Like some people are so-called leaders. They lead the way and they shine their light so brightly, and then it's like, like a candle that comes afterwards. You can't help but ignite that next candle, and then the next candle is igniting the next candle, and it just creates this grid, and eventually, the whole collective is immersed in it. And that's when that unification happens between heaven and earth. I believe I'm holding the vision. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope somewhere you will join us, and the world will live as one. That's it.
I think that's a beautiful note to wrap it up. Yeah, thank you so much for your beautiful energy and essence, and christening this space.
Thank you for the opportunity.
With a beautiful message that I believe in, and I feel privileged to be a part of.
Yay.
Co-creating this experience with you.
Likewise.
And I really just pray that all those that are ready for this awakening, this truth, just find the medicine that they need in whatever shape or form it needs to be in.
Amen. Aho.
Aho.
Namaste.
Jiggy moo.
Jiggy moo.
As one of my mentors says to end. That's his spiritual word that he made up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so at the end of any share, he's in a men's circle, he'd be like, Jiggy moo.
Jiggy moo, I like it.
All right.
Blessings.
Blessings.